going on, everybody? My name's Eli Doyle, and I'm going to be the host of the Pick Theme podcast here at YouTube. I'm going to try to get the audio out in some other platforms, probably Spotify, Apple, the usual stuff. But for the most part, we'll be right here at youtube.com/pickfiends. Honestly, this is our first episode we tried to do a couple here and there before, it didn't really go well, just testing out, technology and stuff to use. But I did make one mistake, one boo-boo on this episode. My buddy, good friend of the program, Luke Stoner, was coming on to do some basketball talk, and I forgot to record my audio part of it. So we'll exclude it. Hopefully we'll get it in next week, and we'll have Luke back to do some basketball. But otherwise, this is just a couple of us getting together, talking sports, talking shop, maybe give out a few picks. Hopefully we could help spread the wealth around, some of us dabble here and there. But, nothing else really. Let's just get to it.
There you go.
All right, we're going to jump into some football here. I got my guy Ryan Smith on. I got my other boy Daulton Mates on right now. I'll drop their users on Twitter below. First thing we'll dive into, we'll start with the college football side of things. I guess the biggest news, I guess this is NFL too, but biggest news, Jim Harbaugh. So Harbaugh's name has been floated around for being a coaching interview for a lot of these open jobs. I don't know if he ever actually even took any real, in-person interviews until just this weekend. He was in with Minnesota. I read it was a 9-hour-long interview. So they definitely, was real and stuff. They did their due diligence with him. But ultimately, it sounds like they're going to go with Kevin O'Connell, the offensive coordinator with the Rams, and Harbaugh is going to go back to Michigan. Did either of you at any time really get the vibe that Harbaugh was coming back? Because I certainly didn't. I mean, I know people definitely did, but I definitely didn't.
No, I thought if he was taking that Vikings interview, if he was only taking that one NFL interview, I thought he was going to get it, but I didn't think he was going to end up back in Michigan, no.
Smitty, you think anything of it?
No.
I mean, I know there was the whole Raiders thing way back, I guess, and he has some connections to Miami with Stephen Ross, their owner.
So it was him, not getting the job from them, right? It wasn't, him declining a job?
I read that it was never offered to him. I read that they had a 9-hour-long interview. They went over a lot of things, talked about, who would be available, who would Harbaugh want to bring in and stuff, that kind of stuff. But I read that there was never an offer made. It sounded like out of Harbaugh's camp, he was looking for a Gruden-esque deal, like a 10-year, lot of money, looking, guaranteed. I guess just the biggest thing for him was, I guess that he's not wasting leaving Michigan, he was going to go somewhere to build something. But I did see a funny tweet. It was just a guy diving in a car and driving off, and it said Harbaugh, when the Vikings told him they want to use $50 million of their whatever salary cap on Kirk Cousins. So that was all that I got out of that. But yeah, Harbaugh's coming back to Michigan. Don't think anything really changes there. Michigan had an okay recruiting class from what I saw. Nothing crazy. Speaking of recruiting classes, the man, the myth, the legend, the only assistant, I believe, out of Saban's camp to ever beat him. Now, Jimbo Fisher pulled in what is said to be the number one class in the country. I mean, I think that's all bullshit. I never thought any of that stuff mattered. But he allegedly pulled the number one class. Other news I see. What's that?
I said you could get stars from anywhere. You
absolutely,
never know who can actually perform at that level.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, don't get me wrong. There are guys that are true 5 stars and stuff like that, but that's all for the most part. I think that's all a sham, whatever. But something I thought interesting. I think a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, we knew that, we predicted that." Blah, blah, blah. Caleb Williams, following, what's his name, out to USC.
Lincoln Riley,
old buddy Lincoln Riley. So I guess that was if I'm getting the timeline right. Spencer Rattler, right, was the quarterback at Oklahoma for Lincoln Riley. Halfway through the season, it seemed like stuff started going south. Besides that, Caleb Williams was thought out to be the in terms of like backups, I guess, up there. Could probably play on a lot of different teams. He ended up taking the job, and I like to think he did pretty good with what he had to work with. I don't think that team was what it was said to be in the beginning of the year and stuff. I don't think it was necessarily Rattler's fault, but yeah, Caleb Williams seems like he's going out to USC, and as a Notre Dame guy myself, don't care, couldn't care less. But now, is there any other things you guys saw in college football like that of substance? There was the Brian Kelly. Did you see that, Smitty?
That's funny.
Brian Kelly. He's doing the dancing with the light like going around. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see it.
No, you'll have to look up that meme because it's hilarious.
That's so funny.
It's like one of those like rotating selfie stand kind of things. Like it's just an ongoing video. And he's like dancing and going like this and stuff with like recruits as they're coming in. Well, the one recruit, the one big like tight end or defensive end or something, he just flipped to Alabama now. He was like it was like the number one trend on Twitter. This video, I'll put it on here then if I can find it. But yeah, the number one trend on Twitter was this video going crazy of Brian Kelly dancing. He was all up in it. He was all up like on him and stuff like it was. But the kid ended up flopping and going to Alabama over LSU now. So it's he looks like an idiot at the end of the day.
Yep.
Around, stay low, make sure they don't see you. Catch some bad, walk down, face them with that heater.
So that's really it for me. I didn't have anything else college football wise.
You see his cat just jump up on my lap.
I did. But I didn't have anything real big. I wanted to get some stuff in just because it was National Signing Day and there was some news and stuff. But on the real football, the professional football side of things, we have a lot of stuff going on right now. The GOAT, call it a career. He rode off into the sunset his way. Personally, I really thought Tom had one more year. I believed in the whole I'm playing till I'm 45.
I thought he was going to play till he just fell off, but he clearly did not fall off.
I seen a thing. There was a quote by him. He said, "I'll stop when I suck."
Yeah.
He don't suck yet, though.
Yeah, I mean, how bad does he suck? I mean, he threw his final touchdown pass of his career 1-on-1 against Jalen Ramsey outside. So it's like
look how far he made it. Like it was still a hell of a season for him. So if he considers that sucking, I guess coming from him, Super Bowl is all that he really looks forward to. So it's not making it there 2 years in a row. Kind of sucks.
I guess maybe he's thinking the Bucs. Like at this point, I don't think they get any better than what they are now. And
that's what I was thinking. I was like, what can you really upgrade on that?
Else besides Tampa? So
what could you really upgrade on that Bucs team besides the secondary? Maybe maybe get a good second running back.
Yeah.
If you're keeping Lenny around. Yeah, but their wide receivers are great. They have a deep tight end room. Their offensive line is 2 All-Pros. Like, I don't know what else you could really get there. But we'll jump into the NFC Beast, because we're all NFC East guys. So Washington announced their new name. It's been leaked, I guess, for a little bit now. People have found it places and stuff. I guess there was the whole thing you could look up. If you typed in WashingtonCommanders.com, it took you directly to the football team's website. So I guess it was out there for a little bit. People don't like it. It seems like.
No.
My thing is I don't know. I felt like they should have stuck with the red theme. I felt like they put a lot of good ones out there with the Red Wolves or the Red Hogs. I thought was a cool one. That was different.
I think Red Hogs would have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hogs, that would have been a cool one. That would have been a cool one.
People were saying well, what was the other one?
I saw generals, other military kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I guess that's good. It revolves around Washington.
I don't think Commanders was it though. It's just
Commanders. Yeah, I don't know. Well, the going joke is everybody's gonna call them the commies now. That's gonna be the thing. And the other thing is I saw
and the Comrag. Yeah.
Yes.
You have like a terrible towel, but like everybody's just calling it the cum rag now.
Yeah, so they were going around. Yeah, so they were driving around the city. People, they had like cars that had their new name on it and stuff. They were going around giving away merchandise, and the big thing was they were giving away terrible towels, and I believe their fan base was referring to them as cum rags for the Commanders. Probably not a great time to be making those jokes in Washington, considering today 6 women came out against their owner, Dan Snyder, who was investigated for all sorts of stuff, even by the FBI during the season, was in Washington at one point raiding whatever, their front office. But, yeah, so I guess 6 women have come forward pressing him. I don't know if it was sexual assault, abuse, something not good. So not great times in Washington.
No,
right now.
Stadium's still falling apart. Like they got a lot to fix.
Yeah, that is the worst stadium in the NFL. And I mean, there are a lot of bad ones. That's the thing. Like, there's a lot of that was only built like in the 2000s. Like, that was relatively newly built. Like, there's no way that stadium should be so bad for when it was built.
It's just crazy because like one thing happened and everybody just put on them and was like okay, things happen, but then like another thing and another thing and another thing. And then
no, it's crazy.
Actually is garbage.
Yeah, no, it is absolutely crazy to me. We'll get off Washington's back here for a second. Let's talk a little bit about Brian Flores and what's going on in that situation. So from what I've read and what I can understand, Flores is pushing the issue of racism, discrimination, and what is the word I want to use? Tampering. And there's one more big. I guess just I don't want to. I mean, tampering is obviously what happened with whatever. There's rumors that it was Brady. There's rumors that it was Watson. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
But I guess he wanted to send Flores on his yacht. Like, told him he was working too much. Offered him $100,000 allegedly to lose more games and stuff. The tampering side of things was I just heard this recently that, and you'll like this, Daulton. Tampering thing, I think everybody just kind of assumed it was Watson because of the whole, controversy that was there. They wanted him, apparently, then they didn't, then whatever. Mm-hmm. The recent rumor is that the tampering was actually 2 years ago, and that it was when Tom Brady announced he was leaving the Patriots for free agency, and I guess it was, you were in the Patriots circle for a while. You have the closest connection out of anybody in Miami to Tom. Like, what would be Tom's interest in coming? But I guess the season was still going on. Yeah. And that's where the tampering comes involved. And then, like I said, Daulton will enjoy. This is allegedly where that barbershop comment from Tom Brady, you're going to go with that motherfucker over me. It wasn't who we thought it was. It wasn't Carr and it wasn't Phillip Rivers. Apparently it was Ryan Fitzpatrick in Miami, because that was the year
that makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah. Yep.
We were trying to figure that out for so long.
Crazy enough about that is he, besides like the Nick Foles and the Eli Mannings who have beaten Tom in like the big game, Fitzmagic beat him a couple times, not only when he was in Buffalo, but I think he beat him when he was with the Jets too. Because what would happen is they'd always get that like week 17, last week of the season game. And, the Patriots are just kicking ass, taking names. So Fitzmagic for a while was like the killer there. Like, I know he won, if not twice, he definitely won once in Buffalo, playing the Pats. And but I wouldn't be surprised if he did it with the Jets too. That's just the kind of guy he is, and that's the kind of competitive stuff that gets Tom Brady going. It seems like throughout this 22-year career that we've seen him. I mean, do you guys have any takes about the Flores situation? I don't want to get too into it. I don't believe there's any real race problems going on with it. I think it's an absolute sham what they did to him.
I think it was still wrong. Like, I think it's still
absolutely. I think the racism part that's wrong.
I think the big. I don't even like. could have been any other coach.
Yeah, it could have been Caldwell. It could have been I don't know what other minority.
It's just that they
based because it didn't have to be a black coach either. It could have been
a job to somebody and then interviewed him for that job that they already were giving to somebody else.
Yeah.
I kind of get what they did though, because they had to interview
because of the Rooney Rule, of course, naturally.
Which that's when it makes it.
They already knew who they wanted
with the racial problem, because the only reason why they interviewed him was because
that's what I was trying to get at here. It's
not the organization's fault. That's the NFL.
No,
but they shouldn't have let it out that they were. They should have a real interview.
It could have been all avoided. My problem is with it that there are if you're gonna do that to someone, do it to I love D'Amico Ryans, Eagles linebacker for years, but do it to D'Amico Ryans, who's a lower level coach trying to get that wants to put that interview on his resume. Yeah, exactly. Don't do that to Jim Caldwell, who has Super Bowl rings. Don't do that to Brian Flores, who has Super Bowl rings. It's just not a good look, in my opinion.
My real problem is with the Dolphins telling him to lose games. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's terrible. And I think he's kind of getting overshadowed a little bit too, and it's not good. Hugh Jackson came out and was like, "Oh, the Browns offered me on the side to lose game." Well, I hope you made a lot of money then, because you were 1-29 there. So
you guys see what Des Bryant was saying?
I saw. Yeah, that's what I mean. I did see that with Des.
Sense to me. That just makes me think it was
I think that hurts Flores' cause. Being the Hugh Jacksons and Des Bryant's coming on and being well, this is what happened to me. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm not agreeing with everything, but I think Flores has a legitimate gripe with what happened to him. I think a lot of these other guys are kind of just getting in line, taking a ticket. If he's getting this settlement, I want some of this, maybe, that kind of thing. But I like Brian Flores. There was a time where I was if Jonathan Gannon, the Eagles' defensive coordinator, is leaving to go to the Texans, there's a rumor he's been in their final couple coaches. I would love Brian Flores to come to Philadelphia. That's just the kind of I read he's been a well-respected coach around the league and stuff, So it is what it is. What happened to him in Miami was definitely a shame. What happened to him in New York was definitely a shame. The Denver one, it's a little iffy. I don't even want to get into it because it's iffy. It's he said, she said. Was Elway drunk? Maybe, probably. If I'm a Super Bowl winning quarterback that runs a franchise and I'm not very good at it, I'd probably be drinking too before I'm interviewing guys. But it is what it is. You guys have any final thoughts on it?
No, not really.
No.
Like I said, I really don't think there is a race problem with it. I think what they did to Flores was wrong. I think the NFL, like you guys said, the NFL definitely kind of sets it up for there to be a problem by implementing the rule that you have to, because I think we all as football guys would just agree the best person or the person that the organization feels is right should just be the person that gets the job. They shouldn't have to jump through all those hoops and stuff. But, at the end of the day, none of us are in the situation, so it's not our place to necessarily speak on it. We'll just tell you what we know. But other coaches that got hired recently, besides, it sounds like O'Connell's getting hired in Minnesota. The Bears introduced Eberflus, whatever it is.
Eberflus,
yeah, he's a good guy. I like him. Who else? We had a lot of other coaches get introduced this week. Obviously the Giants. Obviously the Giants introduced Brian Dable. Josh McDaniels was a little bit out of left field with the Raiders. Brought his own GM with him from the Patriots. I don't know. Did we have any? I guess we should have had a couple more, right? The Jacksonville Jaguars job is still up in the air. That's a crazy situation.
Miami's still up in the air, isn't it?
Yep. And so is Houston. Yes. Houston is down to what I believe, from what I read, was Brian Flores was a Final 3 guy there. I don't know what happens now that you're suing the NFL.
Yeah, they're gonna hire Josh McCown now.
It's McCown and Gannon from Philadelphia were the only other guys they brought back for second interviews. The really interesting one for me is what's going on in Jacksonville right now, because I think last week, all of us would have assumed Byron Leftwich was already their head coach.
I'm preparing to lose Kellen Moore now because with all these 3 jobs opening up, I feel like he's gonna go. I feel like it's either Jacksonville or Miami. He's gonna end up in.
I until this whole Stephen Ross thing came out, you know how I felt. I felt like him to Miami was a done deal because he was another guy that got a second interview there. It was only him and that kid from the 49ers.
Yeah, McDaniels.
Yep, and he's a good little offensive coordinator too. Yeah. But ultimately, it doesn't sound like he's necessarily not ready, but like ready to move on.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. But I definitely thought Kellen was going to. But who would want to coach in that environment, an organization right now? So,
if I were
but
Kellen, I'm thinking Jaguars.
From what I read about Duval is they're down to. Ultimately, the 3 guys were Bisaccia, Peterson, and Leftwich, and Leftwich was the guy they picked. I know they brought back Bisaccia again for a 3rd interview this week after Leftwich kind of opted out, and I know they're planning on bringing back Doug this week too for another interview. So we could get a head coach there, maybe. Maybe they will go and bring in some guy. Maybe they will bring some second interview guys in that they interviewed the first time, never did. But yeah, besides that, I think we all just kind of assume McCown is getting that job in the Texans.
Yeah.
I personally, I love Jonathan Gannon. I thought he did a really good job in Philadelphia this year, but I didn't see the hype of him getting like interviews and stuff. Because he did just interview there. He interviewed in like Minneapolis or Minnesota and a couple other places, but good for him. But yeah, I don't think there are any other big coaching splashes we heard this week. Bears seem like they're bringing a lot of guys from the Colts with them.
Yeah.
With Eberflus. McDaniels hasn't really filled out his staff. I saw he brought in the Bears' former defensive coordinator. He's a young guy. A lot of people. He was pretty renowned. People liked him. I think the only bad thing about him was he had a little Nagy like stink to him.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nagy, heard he's getting an offer, come be an offensive assistant or whatever in Detroit. We'll see what happens there.
Well.
What's that?
Said I think I seen that as well.
Yeah, I did. I saw that today. Yeah, nothing else crazy coaching wise, nothing coordinator wise, anything. The last thing I really had on here, unless you guys have anything to add, is just Super Bowl and our NFC AFC championships. I think I can't remember in my lifetime the last time we got that good of an NFC and AFC back-to-back championship, you know?
Yeah, no, even the week before that was crazy.
Yeah, the whole playoffs was kind of nuts.
Well, I think a lot of people were a little soured at the Green Bay 49ers game. I thought it was a good game, but I think people just expected it to be yeah, it was good football. I just think people expected it to be something else.
It was a good technical game. For me, when I watch a game, I like explosive plays.
I like what we saw this weekend.
Yeah. I like the explosive plays, but for football wise, it was a good game. It was tight. It was close. It was down to the wire. You know.
Yeah.
This wasn't
had you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, it wasn't explosive. You didn't know at any point in the game. You did not know who was going to win. You were like, well, anybody could take this. But yeah, I thought the whole playoffs was kind of crazy. Even the divisional round. Didn't
Yeah, we did have a good.
Yeah,
not only a good playoff run, but
breaking news from Schefter. Doug Peterson's the coach of Jacksonville now.
There we go. Shit. I'll have to. Honestly, I'll have to get this out tomorrow so that it's out. I'll have to get on the editing grind tonight.
That's crazy.
But yeah, no, that's awesome. I do like Doug. I think that's a good fit for Doug too because he'll get the chance to mold Trevor Lawrence a little bit to what he wants. My only gripe with Doug ever was that Doug was very against going out and getting people, it seemed like coaching wise. He was very big on promoting from within and stuff and, growing coaches and growing his coaching tree and stuff, but is what it is. It's all in the past.
Didn't he call the plays for Philly?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he needed to give that a to somebody else. He was not very good at calling plays.
Yeah, and as soon as Frank Reich left, I mean, we saw how much the offense changed and stuff. But that's all in the past. And good for Doug. I hope he does good in Duval. There any other sports news, you guys? Any other things you saw in the media world today?
No.
That we missed? I don't think there was anything.
I don't think so.
Football-wise, I really saw today that was crazy.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
a lot of the Flores stuff. You know,
I seen. I was watching a little bit of those like skills challenges.
Yeah, it's cool. Yep.
The target one with the quarterbacks and the DBs.
Yeah, I only saw Max at the end there. I saw Max put it in.
Off, ran right into the wall. I was like, please, why does this have to happen?
And I saw that whatever, it wasn't a 40, I don't think, but what was that race they did? That was cool too.
Dude, I didn't know Nick Chubb was that fast.
Yeah, but it looked like freaking
Tyreek.
He was dogging it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
but
I mean, I see.
That's cool.
The only two I thought it was going to come down to was Micah and Tyreek, but I did not expect Nick Chubb to run that fast. Looks like those two were the only two trying, kind of, but.
Yeah, so we kind of got off topic with the Super Bowl, I guess, a little bit, but let's hammer that in, and then we'll wrap this up. How do I want to say this? I don't want to say like early predictions for the Super Bowl, but like what do you guys want to see out of the Super Bowl? Like 2 weeks out. You don't have to give me necessarily a prediction of what you think is going to happen, but what do you want to see in the game? Because I can tell you,
I want to see a shootout, honestly.
Like, yeah, I just want to see Joe Burrow and Matthew Stafford just let it. You know, I want to see Odell. I want to see Cooper Kupp. I want to see Jamar. I want to see it all.
I want to see fucking just the craziest stuff. I want to see deep bombs to Cooper Kupp. He's always going to go out there and fucking spread them down. And then I also want to see Jamar Chase just go out there and ball. Like, Ramsey's going to be guarding him. Like, hopefully, we know Ramsey's going to show out because he does that. Hopefully, Jamar can give him a problem. I'd like to see Jamar go out there and give Ramsey a little bit of a problem, a little stick move.
The only thing is it going to be so much easier to just go over to the other side and throw that ball to T. Higgins?
Yeah, and I mean, even Tyler Boyd's out there, too.
Yeah,
and I don't know what Usama's injury was as far. It sounded like they're going to get him back initially, but
try and get him back.
I didn't read anything today. I should have did a little more there, but yeah, and honestly, even the running backs, like I just want to see these. I just want to see these weapons get used. I mean, Cam Akers is having a good little run for coming back off of Achilles. Mixon, Mixon's been having a good year in general.
Tony Michel's been running hard when he's in.
Yep, yeah. But yeah, I see there's like some Twitter stir going on in the Bengals fans trying to bring back Eifert for one more game if Uzama can't get going. And Eifert said he's about it. He's ready. He's on the edge of his seat.
I really hope
Tyler Eifert, man.
You know what? I think they should because of the whole Weddle thing.
Yeah.
Like, that is cool to me. Like, I was listening to Weddle, and Eric Weddle maybe not is somebody that, like, everybody has, like, might not be a superstar of the NFL, but, like, man, what's going on with that guy is crazy cool. I mean, 2 weeks ago, he was on a beach in, like, Boca Raton or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just chilling, and they called him, they're like, are you in shape? Do you want to come do this? Like, do you want to... Guy had the most tackles in the NFC Championship last week at 37 playing safety.
And he said after the Super Bowl, he's done. He said he's going back to his old life.
That's what I love about this, too. It's like, he said, like, every game for him is he's just putting it all out there. He doesn't have to worry about next year. He doesn't even have to worry about next game. He said if he gets hurt, he gets hurt. It's...
Yeah, because he's done.
He didn't think he'd be in this position. But, yeah, I'm really rooting, not only as a Notre Dame guy, but... As a fan of football, I want to see Eifert come back just for this one game. I don't even care if they don't use him at all. Like, just bring him on the sideline. Like, I'm a sucker for storylines and stuff like that. Like, I'm almost rooting. I want to see the villain story here. I want to see Joe Burrow just, as this young monster, just not take over because obviously he has.
Joe Burrow win, but I feel like the Rams should.
It's at the same. No, listen. This is
going to be way too much. Like that Rams D line for that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was just looking into that. Burrow was the most sacked quarterback in the league.
Like you saw that Titans game.
The best defensive.
The Rams line is so much better than the Titans line.
Yeah, and I really honestly like this is a win-win game for me as a fan because like I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm an Eagles fan, but Matthew Stafford, I've talked about forever. Me and Steve Messina have always talked about since he was in Georgia how critically underrated this guy is. And Joe Burrow too. He's same kind of build in my mind. Both those guys just don't kind of get the respect they deserve for how much of a baller they both are.
Yeah.
But either Stafford gets a ring or Burrow, gets a ring. It doesn't matter because, how I look at it is, for so many years it seems like Stafford was overshadowed by Rodgers or whatever the Bears.
Stafford's shot to get that ring though, right here.
Bears defense, yeah, exactly. But at the same time, it's like Joe Burrow. Who expected the Bengals to be in this situation right now?
Joe Burrow's in the coolest situation ever. 2 years ago, he was winning Heisman's and national.
And not only that, he's from Ohio. He's the prodigal son of Ohio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They did him wrong at Ohio State, and he came back now, and now they're building LSU there. You know, basically, but. No, I'm excited for the Super Bowl. I really am. I thought we did a pretty good show now here, guys. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So we'll wrap this up. Once again, I'll drop your Twitter usernames down below. Go ahead, give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a follow here. Follow us on Twitter. Do whatever you got to do. If you enjoyed, leave us a comment. I will be down in the comments if anybody wants to talk ball. I will be down in the comments. I don't know about these two, but
I'll pop in.
Yeah, you let me know about something. I'll get in there. I'll start talking.
All right, perfect. All right, so we'll wrap this up. I thank you guys for doing this.
Yep.
Have a great night.
Yeah, you too.